Hello everyone, this is Joanna the Medium and your intuitive coach. Thank you so much for coming back. And for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome you with open arms, and I hope you find something here just like the other subscribers have found something they enjoy. Month of December, almost said November. Month of December, interesting times. One of the things that is different about this month's reading is I was asked by Spirit to do a completely different format than I have done up until this point. And what I have done, I have divided the reading into two separate parts. There's a general reading, which I have always done, and it's very similar to the one I've done in November. But the other part is about Spirit wanted me to channel more messages, and they wanted me to focus more on what you need to focus with regards to your energies, particularly in December, but also to provide information with regards to the key learning opportunities that you are looking at gaining as you go through this path. So this is not going to be for everyone. Not everyone finds desire to know these things, but for those of you who are looking to deeply connect and who are looking for deeper meaning into what's going on in your life, more than just, you know, when am I going to get a job or when am I going to meet somebody, but more with regards to what am I learning here? What is my soul wanting to learn? For those of you who are hungry for that information, I will have those videos, and the information on how to get those will be down below for you in the show more section. And without further ado, I just want to say thank you so much for watching, for liking, for subscribing, and for sharing your videos. Without you, I wouldn't do this. And as you can tell, I've reached over 40,000 subscribers, which is completely out of this world for me, because this is not what I was expecting when I was gently told by Spirit to put up my channel, to start one. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. And I think that's all I have. So let's just go on with individual readings. And of course, if doesn't apply to you, then listen to your rising sign and your moon sign. And if none makes sense to you, listen to it towards the end of the month, because they almost always make perfect sense. And if not, it may not be just the right message for you this month. But without further ado, let's get going with each individual signs. See you soon. Hello, beautiful sign of Cancer. This is going to be your reading for the month of December 2017. First part of the reading. If you would like the second part of the reading, that information is down below. Let me go through what I have received for you when I was connecting to your energies before I put any cards out. One of the first things that I observed and noticed is many of you have come to a point of completion or are in a point of completion. What is also interesting is that that card actually showed up a few minutes later when I was doing the cards. So many of you are completing a project, completing a long-term relationship, completing a phase on of your life. Rebirth also is coming up, and that's one of the messages in the second part of the reading, and that was represented to me by the number 10. I also saw and heard that for many of you, you will go or let go of old resentment. So this is definitely a good time of the year to heal some wounds from the past, to release things that no longer serve you, to release aspects of you that have been holding you back, and perhaps to forgive people who have hurt you. And that's not always an easy thing, but it is the most important thing for us to do in order to move forward. I also saw many of you were mending hearts. What does it say here? Emotionally speaking. So this felt very much like things in the past have hurt you. And I'm talking about hurt that is deep, deeply difficult situations that resulted in deep hurt. Let me put it that way. And I saw many of you healing that aspect of you. And that probably goes hand in hand together with letting go of resentment, old wounds, old pain, old anger. So that was shown to me as well. I also felt, and I actually heard this, being one with self. And what I felt when I heard this is that many of you will come to a how do I want to say it to them? They will come to the point where they will own themselves completely. And again, this is part of the second part of the reading when they talk about what to focus on. So many of you will feel at home being yourself. You will decide to start feeling good about who you are. You will decide to put your past behind. Certainly old resentment and old pain will help that happen. And you will, the words I want to say is, you will come into your own. You will acknowledge your own importance, your own beauty, your own value, your own worth. And you will, I keep hearing home to roost. I know I've heard this expression, coming home to roost. I don't quite know what this means in this context. If that makes sense to you guys, then let me know. Or maybe it's something that you use. Maybe it's a phrase that you use often and that will somehow trigger something in you. But that is what I keep hearing, coming home to roost. I also felt that many of you will feel deeply grateful in the month of December. I felt gratitude and being open to possibilities, and I actually saw you standing heartfully open and available and ready to take on new opportunities, new world, and the world as a result of letting go of your past and healing certain aspects of you. I also saw a trip. Now, for some of you, you will be taking a trip by train. Some of you, you will be taking a journey. This could be a physical journey, but it can also mean an emotional journey. So it was actually two things that I felt. One, some of you will travel. Now, this is a holiday season, so it makes perfect sense that many of you will travel. I heard very, very clearly the word Pakistan. So I don't know if some of you are from Pakistan. I'm sure you are, or maybe you will be traveling to Pakistan or that part of the world. But that came to me very, very clearly, so I wrote it down because it was completely out of the blue and out of context. So yes, train, journey, spiritual journey, emotional journey, but also physical journey. And the card actually showed up as the first card. What else did I see here? Many of you will have a fresh new outlook on life, as if something has lifted off of your eyes, as if the blinders have been lifted off of your eyes, or as if you're able to see clearly for the very first time. And then I saw new beginnings with regards to fulfillment. So there's a lot of things going on. I feel like many of you are turning your life around. You're in a process of coming out of some difficult situations, some difficulties. This could be relationship, legal, work, health, anything that is, causing you turmoil. But I see many of you are turning the corner. So whatever has been going on in your life that has been not necessarily the best, many of you are going to start to come out of it and turn the corner. Now let's go with the cards. When I got all the numbers together, when I added all the numbers, it came to the number 4. So 4 is all about foundation. It's about putting forth structures, foundations that will eventually serve as a strong and solid platform for building your life on top of. So one of the things that's coming up as far as what energies you are leaving behind, or what is in your recent past, you actually have the card of completion, which is the World. So many of you have ended a relationship, ended some struggle, ended a certain cycle, walked away from something. Doesn't necessarily have to be negative, but many of you have or are or still in a process of completing something fundamental in your life. This also talks about you may have been traveling. Overseas is the first thing I want to say. And I also want to say the word abroad, which is certainly one and the same. This is also a card of reintegration. So again, when I receive the messages about you letting go of some things and coming home to you, that is also very much the same concept of reintegration. the card that represents you now is the Hermit, which is really interesting and nice at the same time, because this is about, I want to say this is about seeing the truth. So this is very much a contemplative aspect, very contemplative energy. Don't be surprised if some of you want to be in solitude around it or around the month of December, some January, but I want to talk about December. And you may feel like you don't want to go out. You may feel you don't want to be too social. You may not feel all jolly because you're still mulling something over that you have dealt with recently. But it is also a message of looking for truth. That's what I want to say. And I don't know if this card necessarily speaks to this in a traditional meaning of tarot, but I want to say seeking truth, because you see he's holding this light and light illuminates. So you may be looking into some aspects of you, let's say the dark aspects of you, and I don't mean necessarily negative. When I say dark aspects, I mean shadow aspects, things about you didn't want to look at, things about your life you didn't want to address, things you didn't want to contemplate. Many of you will be in a truth-seeking mode, or you will be seeking more knowledge, more wisdom, more information, and certainly more meaning out of life. And again, December being a time for many of us of holidays, getting together, being grateful for our families and our friends. This is actually a highly appropriate time to notice what is important to you and to spend time in contemplation with regards to what is important to me. What do I want to do next? Who do I want to be moving forward? And the fact that we got the message about stepping into your body and fully owning you certainly connects to this card about seeking truth. What is in front of you or the near future? We have 8 of Cups. Looks like some of you will be leaving something behind. Certainly, at least an emotional aspect of your life. You see this gentleman walking away from 8 cups. Yes, 8 cups. And he's moving on, leaving these cups behind. What this is telling me is, before I say anything more, there's almost like something is missing here. I know nothing is missing because there's 8 cups in here, but it feels like there is something missing. So it looks like many of you will walk away from something that was emotionally connected with you, but had something missing, fundamentally something missing. So this could be a project, this could be a work situation, this could be a family situation, certainly a partner. This could be anything that you had emotional connection to, but at the end of the day, you found was not fulfilling any longer. And spouse is one thing that's coming to mind. Work is the second. So I feel like there's 2 things. There's two distinct things. One is relationship and one is work. You may also be leaving a set of circumstances. You may have been connected to a group of some sort that stood for the same cause, but then eventually you found that there was some piece missing and it didn't work for you anymore. So there's definitely that kind of a possibility there as well. I also hear moving forward and moving on with your life. So some of you are deciding to moving on from, again, anything that is no longer emotionally satisfying for you. For those who are leaving things behind, especially relationships, I feel, the message is, make sure you organize everything to the best of your ability. And if you are looking at leaving a job situation, the message is make sure you organize everything to the best of your ability before you leave, so you don't leave a whole mess behind. There could be various reasons for that. One of them, your credibility, and the second one, you don't want to burn bridges. When it comes to a relationship, what is coming up here is to make sure that everything is organized. And I'm asking, why is it so important, aside from the obvious things that you don't want to leave a mess behind? And what I'm hearing is, if for those of you who are leaving a relationship or work, you will not be coming back, or it will be difficult for you to come back to get something. So if you're not organized and then you leave and then you decide to go back and get it, I feel it's going to be made difficult for you. So this could be an angry employer, it could be an angry friend, an angry family member, it could be an angry ex-spouse that you are leaving, and you're deciding to come back to get something, but they're saying, no, you're gone, that is too late now. So make sure, because organization is coming to play here. Very, very important. What is driving all of this? Well, you have two cards. You have 10 of Cups in reverse. This is how it showed up. And Ace of Cups in reverse. So it looks like what's happening here is, for many of you, 10 of Cups in reverse basically talks about fundamental differences in the most important parts of our life. So total misalignment of ideas, ideology, and the way we look at life. It also talks about family that was once happy is no longer. So this often talks about broken home, broken marriage. It could talk about circumstances around work that have not worked out very well, but this feels very much about family. And as a matter of fact, it made you feel emotionally isolated or locked or blocked. So many of you have at some point parted ways with a loved one where you felt, well, again, not very good about yourself. This is in the future. So it feels to me like many of you may have had a feeling of completion within yourself, and then through the month of December you are going to contemplate the ways of how you're going to go about leaving a certain situation. So this may not have happened yet. It may have been in your mind or in your soul. You may have come to a certain realization, and through the month of December, as you contemplate and as you look for truth, as you seek what is right for you, and as you move away from something that doesn't serve you anymore, it feels like a lot of it has to do with a family connection or a home. I want to say the words broken home. So many of you are leaving or will be leaving or have left, but this in the last 3 months, a family situation where you felt emotionally repressed. And that is the first part of the reading. Just to give you a quick note on what is the second part of the reading, you have a lot of information regarding coming into your own, and also about regeneration and seeking your power. As a matter of fact, some of the lessons here are about understanding and power. So if you want a deeper information about what to focus on and what the lessons are for you, that information is down below for second part. But for those of you who just wish to stay with the first one, I hope this makes sense, and I certainly hope that you find it helpful. Thank you so much for watching, for sharing and liking. And of course, if you would like to connect with me personally, that information is also down below. Thank you so much. Happy holidays. Merry Christmas for those of you who celebrate Christmas. And if you would like to comment on how this connects with you, please do so. I always read them. And always remember, and I hear this from you all the time, this almost never makes sense to you at the beginning of the month, but it almost always makes sense to you towards the end of the month or beginning of next. So I wish you best of luck. And with that said, thank you so much and see you soon. Bye.